Ozone. So this applies to anybody who, whether you're going down the insurance contractor restoration path, or you're someone who's doing a DIY smoke detox of your home, this is a big deal. So I remember being in Fort McMurray, and restoration companies often hire temporary laborers to help with cleanup. And almost every time I've been in a wildfire zone, people end up in the hospital. Because when you use ozone, first of all, it's fantastic for odor removal, not so fantastic for us. So when we would use our big industrial ozone machines to get odors out of people's homes, there couldn't be any humans in the house, there couldn't be any pets, and there couldn't be any plants. And then we would actually have to have a dissipation period. We would do it equal parts ozone running to dissipation. So if we ran the ozone machine for 24 hours, we would do a 24-hour dissipation period. I think the standard is half of that, but I'd rather be safe with this kind of stuff. But restoration guys would go into a house, crank the ozone machines, and then stay in the home and clean. And they'd end up in the hospital with ozone poisoning like all the time. This is a big deal. So if you have restoration contractors in your home and ozone machines are running, don't go in. I'll also note that when any rubber material in your home can get broken down and create formaldehyde, not a huge problem, but just adhere to the dissipation period. Leave some windows open and just let your house breathe when you're done ozone. So if you're doing DIY ozone, or there's any contractors using ozone, just make sure you realize ozones are not air purifiers. They're adding particles into the air to basically make this, basically you're breaking apart the smoke particles and you're removing odors, but there is a hazardous risk to ozone. So just make sure if you're using ozone, you are not in the home or in the building or in the room, not in the building at all during the period that the ozone machine is running. That's why most ozone machines have a timer on them. So you can set it to 6 hours or 12 hours and then be gone for twice as long. So I say this because there's a lot of restoration contractors out there who are going to be hiring hundreds and thousands of employees. So the things that you see when you're working with contractors is all over the place. So I'm very weary of working with the big restoration contractors, especially after a big wildfire where they have to ramp up their capacity so quick. So you're often dealing with very inexperienced people, which was good for us when we were the ones who were redoing people's, we were the people who, when people would hire a big restoration company and then they got it done, we would go in as the third-party verification company, and it was almost always a fail, big time. So be careful with ozone.